Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You can send your questions to my email, askgeorgeuncle@gmail.com. That's right, that's the email. Keep sending your questions, we will keep answering. I may not be able to answer all the different angles of a certain question, but I try my best. But there are different questions that keeps coming in. Keep watching different Ask George Uncle episodes and you will get it. Here is our question today. So this parent has written this. Okay, I'm seeing my young boy who is only 11 years old watching things on the internet that I'm shocked. He has also got into different websites that I never thought he would get in. Your 11-year-old boy is becoming very curious. Really? Yeah, he's becoming very curious. That's why he's trying to venture in. Maybe the friends, they're talking about certain things. Maybe some of these conversations have come in. Maybe some of these conversations. Now, during this time, during this pandemic, a lot of the children, it's very interesting in my counseling, I've seen it. A lot of young children have stumbled upon pornographic materials online. They've stumbled. I'm using that word stumbled. Why? They didn't search for it. And today you're going to be on online and you don't have proper, softwares to monitor some of those, hard raw material and nudity and things like that. I'm telling you, today they're just waiting for some of these young teenagers to get hooked in. And they keep shooting in. It's like a web. And there's a little movement and they begin to really come and capture your children. This is where you need to sit and begin to talk. Now, what's one of the first things to talk? Not about why did you do this? Oh, I can't believe it. I've seen some mothers, some teenagers have told me this, okay? Some mothers become emotionally and say, I never thought you would do this, you let me down, and making the child feel so, guilty and feel so condemned. No, that's not the journey. That's not the journey. I'm sure I'm saying this again. They didn't wanted to go into that place. No, they didn't intentionally go into that place. No, they would have stumbled upon. Maybe they would have heard some friends say certain things, certain websites and things like that. They're a little curious, so they would have typed something to see. They're very young. So don't shock them. Rather, come to that place of how you can secure them. You heard what I said? Don't shock them, but secure them. Meaning what? Secure them in this journey. Okay, now that you've stumbled upon some of those things, let's talk about it. What is that? Who are these people? What is happening? And how does our brain work? And, begin to really talk with them. I did something, with one of my son. He had stumbled upon some things and I had to sit and talk. It was some years ago, even when my teenagers were just about 11, 12 years old, 9, 10, 11, 12 year old, I had a time where I began to talk to them very openly with diagrams, with pictures. Now, this is a wisdom. For boys, it might be good for fathers to do it. For girls, it might be good for mothers to do it. Why? There's nothing wrong when the father can also do it or things like that. But for a girl, it will feel more secure when the mother does it. For a boy, would feel more secure when a father would do it, So spend some time showing some pictures and talking to them. Now that you've seen this 11-year-old have stumbled upon certain things, he's been exposed to certain things. Some of these images can be memory markers that can be there in their mind for a long time. Not that he's going to start searching and things like that. You may have to start monitoring. You may have to put some softwares. Now, meanwhile, I'll say this, there are so many pornographic softwares that are available that will prevent pornographic materials from coming in, or any material that's nudity or anything. Even on Google, they have something called a safe search. You can even actually switch on a safe search on Google. So your children can be protected because they're spending so much of time on the internet. It's a different world altogether. Spend some time with your teenager. Begin to talk and share. Don't be afraid to talk about topics like this. Many times parents tell me, say this, can you talk about this to my, children? I want to close this. Recently, there was one group that called me up and said, we have young children who are becoming very curious and all of that. They're only about 8, 9, 10 years old and becoming very, very curious. So can you speak about sex and the body parts and everything to our children? I actually said, no, I can't. I should not. They said, why? You're an expert in this, and can you not talk about it? I said, you want your children to hear about sex and everything from their own primary caretakers. It's from their own parents. They said, why? If I'm going to talk, you're putting this thought in them, anybody else can talk about private parts. No. Our children cannot hear about some of those intimate details of sex and private parts and everything from any Tom, Dick, and Harry. No. They need to hear it from their parents. So I told this particular group and I said, please bring your parents. I will teach them how to talk to their children and let them talk to the children. They didn't come back. They just said, no, that's too much of work to do. Our parents are all very busy. And I said, you have to be very careful. It's parents who need to step in, who need to open up and talk to your children. If you don't talk to the children, please understand, somebody else is ready to talk to the children, and what they are talking, what they are showing to your children is not right. Just be careful. It's important that you take that journey. Maybe one of the questions when it comes in, maybe I will talk about how to talk to your young children about sex and about body parts and what it is and what not it is. We will talk about that. But your children are very precious. Please, you take that journey with your children. Your children are yours. Caretakers, these children, God has given them to you. So you take the journey with them. Thank you.